Hello everyone. Welcome to another edition of Wilderness First Aid Fridays presented by the West Branch High School Outdoor Leadership Program. Today's topics are Wilderness First Aid Kits. Topics we're going to cover today are how they are our primary source of first aid supplies, what to consider when determining what to put in our first aid kit, some must-have items, and then some helpful hints. So let's get started. When going into the backcountry, you really need to have a basic understanding about wilderness first aid and wilderness first aid kits. Taking a wilderness first aid course is highly recommended. These courses are offered by organizations such as Red Cross, NOLS, SOLO, and other wilderness medicine organizations. These courses are usually about a 16-hour course. There you will learn how to use and also how to improvise items you have in your first aid kit and your gear. What I'm going to do today though is just kind of review and show you several different types of wilderness first aid kits that we have and we use with our program, and what I use when I teach wilderness first aid courses and when I go into the backcountry. There are several factors when determining what to put in your first aid kit. First, how many participants are in your group, and will you be able to split up items? 2, how long will you be gone? 3, the location of your trip. 4, time of year. And 5, the skill level and training of your group. There are several must items I feel you need to have in your first aid kit. And I will show that slide at the end of the review of the kits that I have in front of me. But let's get started. The first kit I have is a one-person ultralight first aid kit. This is not very big, but it has everything you need in it. This is for a one-person, 1 or 2 wound kit, and what you have in this is you have your syringe that you need to clean out your wounds. You have iodine pack to help sterilize and sanitize. You have your wipes, antiseptic wipes to help clean the wound area. You have what we call steri strips or closure strips to help close the wound. And then you have various other things such as gauze pads, moleskin for blisters, cortisone and antibiotic ointment, and skin wipes. Other things you would add in here could be different various band-aids that you might need for fingertip, for knuckle, and for cuts on the arms and legs. As you can see, it's packed up very, very small. One thing that's very important is to make sure that your first aid kit is in a waterproof container. This bag here is waterproof. Some people may not like this because everything is tight and compact, and they would transfer it into a little baggie where they could see everything. The next first aid kit we have, again, is by the same company of Adventure Medicine. This kit here is for a group of 1 to 4 people. One thing I like about this kit is as you open it, everything is in its waterproof bag. So you do not need to transfer this over. Here you have a big square of moleskin. You have your tweezers. You have a roll of duct tape, which is very, very important. And over here you have some safety pins. And then in this kit here, you have everything you need. Some tape, ointment, antiseptic wipes, band-aids. You're going to have your gloves, You're going to have your CPR little mask, everything you need to treat a wound. I think it's one thing that's important to remember is if you need more for an injury in the wilderness than what's in your first aid kit, you're going to need to evacuate that individual and get him some qualified medical help at a doctor's office or hospital, or call search and rescue to have them come in and get you. Okay, the next kit I have is, our program had several of these donated by Bass Pro, and these are really not bad kits. When you go through what's in here, it's the same stuff that our other kits would have. This one I use myself, my personal kit, one of them. And so I've adapted, and that's one thing we want to talk about is personalizing your own first aid kit. Several things I have in here is I have a 1-inch roll of athletic tape, which is better than the first aid tape that you get. I also added in here, this is called a package of Squinch. It's kind of like a Gatorade, highly concentrated. It helps with dehydration. You could dump in a little thing of water, drink, and help replace all of your electrolytes. Another thing I have in here is a little item called Wound Seal. And I will show that to you in my other first aid kit that I have. But again, start thinking about personalizing your own kit and how big you want to have your kit. The next one is the one I take almost everywhere I go. Yes, it's a little bit bigger than these, a little bit thicker, but like everything I do, I overpack, and I am just trying to prepare for everything. But let's go through what I have here. So in this kit, what I have is some things that I did not mention the other kits really didn't have. The one thing you want to have is a good pair of scissors. Now, this kit came with a pair, and I'm going to take these out after this presentation, is this pair of scissors, which is crap. These scissors will not do anything. Okay, what you want is a good pair of medic scissors in here, and these also come in a smaller version. I just took these out of my big med bag that I have in my truck. But these will cut clothes. These will cut straps and gear that you need to get off a victim. So these are very useful. I highly recommend. Another thing that a lot of these first aid kits will come with are tweezers, but these are plastic tweezers, okay? And if you need to sterilize, these will melt. So one thing you want to have is a good pair of metal tweezers, okay? Where if you need to, you can sterilize either with a wipe, or if you need to sterilize with a lighter or a match or fire, you can. So I highly recommend getting a little pair of metal tweezers. Other things I added in here is this one comes with a thermometer, one-time use thermometer. It comes with, I put 2 pairs of gloves in it. We talk about our PPEs, especially now. You need to be covered. One thing I put in here is KT tape. Now, for those that aren't familiar with it, it's a stretchy tape where you can cut and you can put it around blisters. If you have a blister on your heel, you can use it for injuries. What it does is it'll help flex and extend joints. It's very useful. So I put that in there now. Another thing is the wound seal I talked about. So you get a little bottle of wound seal in there. You read the directions and learn how to use this, but you can put it into a gaping wound and it'll help clot and slow the bleeding. I have my syringe, again, for wound cleaning. And what I did is I put my tip of my syringe the green item there, in my little tweezer case so it doesn't get broken. Just protect that. Another thing I have in here is I have my individual CPR little mask. I don't take my big Red Cross mask out in the backcountry. It's just too big and bulky. And there's various philosophies. Again, you know, when you're in the backcountry and you have to perform CPR, you know, the victim's going to be in trouble. Another thing we have in here is a triangular bandage, a cravat. And you've seen that on some of my videos on splints and how to mobilize. A recommendation I have with cravats or triangular bandage is, you know, everybody in your group should have one in their pack. Various reasons. Number one, they don't weigh anything. Two, if you do have to make a splint and use them, you have more than one. Now, the Wilderness First Aid course teaches us how to improvise with your gear you have. You can use coats, scarves, sweaters, or whatever to help use as slings and cravats, but it's nice to have everybody have one so you're not using personal items that you may need down the road. Other things that this one has that others don't are big trauma pads, just in case. Again, I overpack, I over prepare, and again, that's just my choice. Other things I have in here, this one, is I have a blister pack. I've used duct tape in that for blisters. I've used KT tape as well. My issue with the duct tape and KT tape on a blister is when you go take it off, it sticks and you're ripping off the skin that may be healing. If you have a blister kit, you can kind of cut a donut out, put that over the blister and pad it, and you're going to be fine. Other things that I put in here is I do put in a lighter, a fire source, in case I need to sterilize anything. I also put in a writing utensil, okay, to take information down. I also will have a little pad of paper in here. One other thing that's in another one of my smaller kits is if you buy a first aid kit from a store, from Bass Pro or REI, it's going to have a thick Wilderness First Aid book in there. Well, that's the reason you take the course, because those books are big, they're bulky, okay? They don't flex very well, they don't pack very well. But what I have in here is my little pocket guide that I get when I take my NOLS, when I get certified in Wilderness First Aid, is I just put a little packet guide, I slide that in there, and if I have any questions, I'm able to use that as a reference. So again, after you take a Wilderness First Aid course, you need to start tailoring your first aid kit to you and to your group and to your activities. Every time you go out on a trip, you need to repack your first aid kit. Things do expire. Things like medications will expire. Ointments will expire. So you need to stay on top of what's in your kit and repack and recheck everything as you go. So again, I want to thank you for your time. What I will put at the end of this video is a slide with the must-have items that we teach in Wilderness First Aid. Enjoy your day, stay safe, stay healthy, and thank you.